Fentanyl's original use is it's an elephant tranquilizer. So we know how big elephants are. So just imagine what that'll do to a 5'9", 5'10" human being. Well, they're using it as a cutting agent. They're mixing it in a lot of your drugs that you're using now. So it's even, fentanyl's even making its way to the weed now, which is really scary because everybody's using weed as a recreational. But they're mixing it in cocaine as well, heroin, I believe, and you have people who are knowingly doing fentanyl, but that's a different form of it. That's a less potent form of fentanyl.
Who is Major Williams, Matt Mucho?
It was just unconditional love from him. It didn't matter what kind of person. It didn't matter what kind of person you were. It was just unconditional love. He's always happy to see you. For the ladies, he's like your favorite teddy bear. For the bros, he's like like your best friend. First off, well, you can't trust everybody, obviously, and you always have to know who you're dealing with. At all times, you have to know who you're dealing with. And I would just tell the kids, just don't fall into something you can't get out of, or you're not knowingly doing it, or you don't know what effects it's going to have on you, and possibly when you're gone, what effects it's going to have on your family and everyone else who's here, who has to deal with you not being here anymore. There's alternatives to a way to connect to people. It doesn't have to be through recreational use of drugs or alcohol. You can have fun being sober.
My story starts back when I was dating a girl and she would get a prescription of 600 pills a month. And I started off taking 2 or 3 a day to 4 or 5 a day till my tolerance got built up to 25 Norcos, 25 Percocets a day. And that led me to doing, a whole bunch of crimes to get sent to prison. And that's where, my downfall, it all started. And it was a tough road, a tough life, with having as many kids as I got and really letting them down. And the biggest thing about a pill addiction is the withdrawals. And I know a lot of people right now are, taking fentanyl, but before fentanyl, it was just a regular pill addiction. Just how the crack hit in the 80s for our generation, it's prescription pills, fentanyl, and lean. It's a very, very bad opiate thing going on within, this country. And like I said, I started off, taking a few pills here and there, and my tolerance got up to 25 pills a day, to the point that I'm spending $350 a day just on pills, chasing my high. And, I would go inside people's houses and, burglarize their house so I can be able to take care of my children and also feed my habit. And the money that I was using to take care of my kids, the money that I was getting from, me committing crimes, I would take part of it, take care of my kids, pay our bills, whatever I need to do, and the money that I should have been saving, I would get high with it. And the main thing with addicts, and they keep on using these prescription pills, is because of the withdrawals. The withdrawals are like the most wickedest thing that you could ever experience in life. Like, your body produces a chemical, your brain produces a chemical that kind of, helps your body deal with pain. And once you get on with taking these pills or taking fentanyl, your body stops producing those pains. And feel basically everything that's going on. And I go to prison, I'm clean for a little bit, but I'm still an addict. I still have an addiction, I still have things that I'm battling. And I started using drugs, lightweight in prison, and then when it was time for me to come home, I cleaned myself up, and coronavirus hit, we're on lockdown, we don't have to go check in for parole, we don't have to do anything, no piss test or anything like that, so I figured that I can dibble and dabble. And that's one thing about an addict, you think that you have everything under control, when deep down inside, you don't have anything control. You know, the opiates, the fentanyl, that controls your life. It controls everything. Of you being a man, you being a woman, you can't do anything without it. Like, I couldn't go to work, I couldn't do nothing without this pill or without this drug. So I started dibbling and dabbling every here and now and then, and next thing you know, it turned out to a full-blown addiction all over again. You know, I seen 2016 starting to happen. I lost a few friends before I even had my episode, and one of my good friends, Major, we call him Mac Mucho, when he passed away, this is how I knew that this fentanyl drug was very, very serious, because you had a few of us that were in the parking lot at the candlelight getting high off the same drug that just took our friend, and that was ridiculous. So the Monday after his funeral, I believe it was probably Sunday night, I'm doing cocaine, I'm popping regular Percocets, and I'm sniffing fentanyl. So come that morning, you know, I'm doing drugs all day. Come nightfall, you know, I was getting my palate ready, I'm getting everything ready so I can, you know, lay down and, you know, end my night. But I was pacing back and forth, and God put my roommate at home at the right time. So I ended up talking to him about my nose being stopped up. He said there's a nasal spray in the cabinet. So I go to the cabinet, I go get me some nasal spray, I hit it up my nose. Come to find out, it was Narcan. And I had a very, very bad reaction, but deep down inside, I was overdosing. And, you know, God put my roommate there at the right time, and it saved my life. And any advice that I can give anybody out there that's, you know, having this problem with these pills is to go get help. I know a lot of you don't want to leave your children, you don't want to leave your family. Deep down inside that you might end up leaving them anyway. Because that was one of the things that I said. I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to go to rehab because I didn't want to leave my girlfriend. I didn't want to leave my kids. I ended up committing crimes, and I ended up leaving them anyway. In all actuality, I could have went to the rehab, and I wouldn't have these 6 strikes that I have now. I wouldn't have these 12 home invasions on my record right now. Like, it's hard for me to get a job, a good job at that. So these drugs just don't mess up one part of your life. It'll mess up numerous things in your life, messes relationships up. Relationships with your children, relationships with your mother, you know, to the point that these people don't trust you anymore because you let them down so many times. And it's all because of a moment high. I look back on it, it's nothing worth it. Anything like that, anything that I have to worry about me dying off of is not worth it to me. Like that's not having fun. Every time you sniff that drug, you pop that drug, you're playing Russian roulette with your life. And I know a lot of people are dying, they're recreational users. And they're not even knowing that this drug is in the drug that they're taking. That, oh, I've been taking this for a long time now. I've been getting it from the same person. I know who I'm getting it from, but deep inside, we don't know who they're getting it from. We're not the ones bringing this drug into this country. And it touches so many hands before it reaches you. So this is just like playing Russian roulette. You might as well get a gun and put it to your head and, you know, play the game. Because that's exactly what you're doing. And it's taken so many lives. I remember me being in the hospital that night, and the doctor came up to me and told me it was I think 18 or 21-year-old girl on life support right now fighting for her life. But the drug has you so much, it's like it has this hold on you. The next day, I'm still popping pills. When I got back from the hospital that night when I overdosed, I woke up the next morning and went right to my drawer to get the rest of the pills I had, and I took them, you know, because I didn't want to have to deal with this sickness. And addiction is a disease. It's a problem that we've been having through this country for a long time now. And we can't just blame ourselves. We have to blame others that are involved. in these situations. For instance, the doctors. You'll go in for a surgery today, and a doctor will give you prescription pills to deal with your pain, but the doctor is not telling you that once you take these pills for a month or so, you're going to be dependent off of them. And it's hard to get off. The whole program helps us. I take Suboxone now, and the Suboxone blocks any type of opiate, any type of fentanyl. It'll block it out of my system. And I won't be able to get high off of it, and I won't be able to overdose. But my main thing is that, this drug is floating in the streets, and people are not knowing. People are not aware of what's going on. And I think I was taking pills for about 10 to 13 years, nonstop, every single day. Like, I did not miss a day. I didn't miss a beat. I would make sure that I went out at night to go rob someone's house, to go rob their car, or whatever I can do, so I can provide for my children, and I also can take care of my high. And I always provide for my children so I won't feel, like a junkie. But deep down inside, I was a junkie, I'm an addict. And I'm in recovery now. I'm taking the steps that I need to take to get my life back together, getting back to work, being back in my children's lives, and staying sober. Because at the end of the day, it's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. I've seen guys sit there and sniff 10 fentanyl pills, and we're really playing with our lives. Like, I cannot stress it enough on how this is tearing our community up. We have to worry about the police. We have to worry about gang violence. And now we have to worry about a drug that's floating around these streets and taking on our people just as fast as anything else, just as fast as gun violence, And it's a problem that we have to tackle. We have to get to the youth and let them know that one moment of partying is not worth leaving this earth for the rest of your life. And a lot of people don't think that it can happen to them. We see it happen to others. I've seen 10 people since I've been home from prison die from fentanyl, and I could have been one of them. I almost was one of them. And I think about how my children will feel like my dad died of a drug overdose, and that's something that I can't live with it, and I can't even die with thinking that that's okay. Just sitting there in the hospital accepting the fact that you're about to die because of a moment that I wanted to sit and chill and have fun with my friends and do cocaine, sip lean, and take prescription pills. Knowing that I just lost some friends. And I know that if we can turn the hand of time back, they wouldn't have even had to take that drug that night. And it's out there, it's floating, and nobody knows. And I want to be one of the people that speaks out and that fights, for us. If nobody else is gonna fight for us, I know we're gonna fight for each other, And there's 12-step programs that you can go to. There's clinics that you can go to. Anything that can help you with the withdrawals. You just have to do the research. You have to talk to the people, and surround yourself around people who don't do the things that you used to do. That's my main thing now. I hang around people that don't do these drugs, And now I feel good. I feel good waking up every morning. I'm not in pain. I'm not, jonesing for some type of drug. I'm just normal. And I love feeling normal. And one thing about that drug, it'll have you thinking you're normal and you thinking that this is life, but in all, you're suffering. You're killing yourself on the inside. And I just cannot stress it enough that, that it's going to be a hard fight. It's going to be a tough fight. It's going to be a hard one. It's going to be a long one. But I know together we can fight against fentanyl and we can get our community back.